to my channel. Today's video is for Wait For You. I think after this, I only have one left for Based on a True Story. I'm so excited. I love getting through these. They're like so much fun, and I like that this one was an EP, so it was shorter than like a full album, because sometimes I feel like when I do the full album, I just get tired of doing them. But like, I love doing them, if that makes any sense. So yeah, today's for Wait For You. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. Hit my notification bell so you know when I upload. Give this a big thumbs up. And let's go ahead and get to the video. I have to go film Bean Boozled. I don't want to. So this looks a tad more complicated than what I'm used to. My camera is not straight. Is that better? But we're gonna go with it. So I wanted to switch it up, but I don't want to zoom in too far because when I do liquid eyeliner, I tend to move around a lot. So that's why we're kind of zoomed a little bit further out than normal. But I'm going to start by priming. I'm going to take the Lorac Behind the Scenes eye primer. This is the same eye primer I use all the time, but because I am using pigments today, this is my favorite primer to use with pigments. I would not recommend using a concealer at all. So we're going to take one of my favorite palettes. This is the Sephora Pro Editorial Palette. I did unfortunately break one shade in here, but I pressed it back in. It's not as pretty, but the palette itself is gorgeous. This is one of my favorite palettes ever. And I'm going to take the shade Helen P, which is this one right here. And I'm going to pack that on all over my lid. This palette is incredible. If you want color in your life, you need this. It's amazing. I love it. There are pigments though, so pigments can be a little bit more difficult to blend. They don't do quite as well layering as eyeshadows do. I mean, you can definitely layer them, but sometimes they require a little bit more work to get just right. But once you know how to use them, they're incredible to work with. You just have to be patient enough to learn how to use them. Sometimes they do better swiping. Sometimes I personally think they do better when you tap them on and you don't swipe, but it really is personal preference. So this look only really has like 2, maybe 3 colors in it. I'm okay with that. So now I'm going to take the shade Chris from this palette, which is this gorgeous blue right here. This is a stunning blue. I'm going to put that in my crease. All right, now I'm going to go into this palette. This is the Pure by Little Pony, the movie palette. And I'm going to take the shade Rarity, which is this white right here. And I'm going to use that to blend out the edges. I know there's a white in the editorial palette, but this white is not as pigmented, which in this case is a good thing. I didn't want a super intense white to really take away from the blues. So just using that just barely at all to get some more of that blue tone. Blend it out. Tap off most of the excess. Let's use that brush to blend it out. I do want it to have a little bit of sharp lines, so it's not as blended as most of my looks are. It still has a bit with the sharp edging, but I kind of wanted it to have a little bit more of a sharp edging. But if you wanted it to be more blended, you definitely could blend it out a little bit more. You could be more smoky. This is where it gets complicated for me. I'm using 3 different eyeliners, and there's no way I'm going to make it match, but I'm going to do the absolute best. So first I'm going to take the Benefit roller liner and I'm going to create a wing. Ooh, wish me luck. Okay, so I think that's about the same. Not gonna be even, but I'm gonna have to get it as close as possible. Now, I'm going to take the e.l.f. Stardust Glitter Eyeliner in the shade Pink Opal. I've been using this a lot recently, and I quite like it. I mean, it's literally just a Stardust. I mean, there's nothing super pigmented about it, but I like it. So I'm going to let the Benefit liner set a little bit more, just because it is still wet. I'm gonna start applying it on the outer edge. I think this eyeliner just gives a little bit of something different to a look, and obviously that's what I'm doing. Now I'm going to take this is the Wet n Wild Mega Liner in the shade Voltage Blue. This liner is kind of difficult to work with. It dries really fast and it is a little bit cracky. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It's cracky. So sometimes it looks really good and sometimes it doesn't. This line doesn't look terrible, but it also doesn't look that great. But I'm hoping once lashes are on, face is done, everything kind of comes together. And I'm just going to outline the wing we had done. Okay, they're not exactly even, not at all, but I know that if I keep messing with them, they're just gonna get worse. So I'm just gonna leave it like that, and hopefully it doesn't drive me too crazy to where I have to start over, because that's definitely happened before, and I don't really want to do that today. Not today, maybe tomorrow. Okay, so what do I want to do now? Face. Face. Yeah, let's do the face. So I'm going to take the e.l.f. Glow Primer Stick. Love this. Guys, Starbucks officially has their peppermint mochas. Love them. Probably one of my favorite things from Starbucks, and they're only seasonal, which makes me so upset, but I love them. I love peppermint in general, like peppermint anything. I'm typically all about it. Peppermint. I love peppermint. I even have, I'm pretty sure, peppermint body mist from Bath & Body Works. The foundation I'm going to wear today is the Maybelline Dream Liquid Mousse foundation in the shade 10 Porcelain Ivory. though, the concealer I'm going to use today is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop in the shade Alabaster. I'm not even sorry. I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the shade 5 Fair to set that concealer. I'm going to contour using the Benefit Hoola bronzer. I have mixed feelings about Hoola. I like it, but at the same time, I don't. I definitely think that Wet n Wild eyeliner bleeds a little bit because it seems to have bled onto my e.l.f. and Benefit liners, but I mean, there's like nothing I can do about it, so I'm just gonna roll with it. Maybe try to find a better eyeliner that's not quite as liquidy if you're gonna do outlining in blue. I think there's like a ton of different ones, but that's just one I have, so I just kind of went with it. But I think ColourPop has one. Fenty might have one. I don't know, I'm sure a bunch of brands probably do. I just personally have the Wet n Wild one. Need to contour the jaw. All right, to bronze, I'm going to take the Laura Geller Baked Body Frosting in the shade Tahitian Glow. Wait a minute, it's been a minute. Love this guy. I was so afraid to use it when I first got it. I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be way too orange. And some people might say it is. I just love it. That might be way too much. That's way too much bronzer. Do you see that? I put on a straight bronzer helmet. I am going in over here. I also use Hoola to contour. Hoola's a bit warmer than my normal contour colors, but I figured because the eyes are so cool toned that it would be okay, but I don't think that was actually the case. I think it might have been better if I went with something more like my Tarte contour, something a little bit more cool toned, but we're already here, so we're just gonna roll with it. But you know, I don't know if I'm liking the contrast it has. You live and you learn. I like to do different things on my channel. Sometimes they're great ideas, sometimes they're absolutely terrible. All right, so I'm going to actually skip blush. I have one pulled out, but I'm not gonna actually use it. I think the bronzer is enough. Not the best idea I ever had. But I am going to take the Smashbox Casey Holmes Spotlight Palette in the shade Pearl, and I'm going to mix together Turn It On Pearl and Crank It Up Pearl. These two are my favorites. The whole palette. This palette is so beautiful. I love Casey. Finish the lower lash line. I'm going to take the shade Chris and put that across the lower lash line. I have different colored powders all over my desk right now. Okay, then I'm gonna take a little bit of Helen P and use that to just blend it out. a little bit. I don't want too much diffusion because like I said earlier, I want it to be a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more sharp. Some of my looks I want really sharp, some of them I want really blended. I think I'm decided. All right, so I'm going to take the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. All right, so I'm going to apply lashes. These are the Sephora Lash Stories in the style Jet Setter. I have not used these. They are really dramatic for me, so I haven't used them. We will see how this goes. I'm gonna take the Smashbox Always On Liquid Lipstick in the shade Tar Pit. Alright everyone, and that is it for Wait For You. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. Hit my notification bell so you know when I upload. Why is my shirt crooked? Whatever. Hit my notification bell so you know when I upload. Give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video.